freestyle disc golf. This is the Appalachian Amateur Championship presented by Disc Golf 1. Matt Lawson is at 17 under. Justin is also at 17 under. Lucas McPherron is at 15 under. And Josh Delp is at 13 under. First up is Matt Lawson. Standstill forehand. That's a great shot, but he comes up a little bit short. Second on the tee, tied for first, is Justin Stout. Going with the backhand. Looks like he lets that go a little early, and he's going to be doing some scrambling. Third on the tee is Lucas McPherron. He's also going to opt for the forehand. That's hyzering out a bit early, but that should be a putt. And finally, we have Josh Delp, also going with the forehand. He clips a tree, but he doesn't get stuck in there, so he should have a decent up and down. Justin from inside this bush. This is tough. This looks great, though. Ooh, off the cage. Good shot. Josh looking like he's going to attempt a long jump putt here. More like a throw putt, but that's a good run. Should net him a par. Matt from about 70, 60 feet. And he's under the basket for his par. Lucas from about 50 feet. He also puts it under the basket. Oh, he got kind of a little roll, but he should be all right. Par for Lucas. Par for Justin. Josh had a black snake right under that rock right next to his foot. He gets his par, and then Matt will come tap his par in. So pars for everyone on hole 1, which, by the way, is one of my favorite starting holes. Hole 2 is a 451-foot par 4. Matt kind of pulls that into the trees on the left.
That's a good result.
Justin with a little too much turn, but he's through the gap. Lucas with a smash forehand. That's a great shot.
Out.
It's a little turned over, but he should be fine there. This is Matt. He's pretty far back, but it's definitely doable to get up and down for birdie from here. He actually fought through those trees pretty well, so. And that looks pretty good. That should be about circle's edge. Justin from a similar distance, going with the backhand. This is a blind shot for Justin, and it was for Matt, obviously, too. And he's in a similar spot, about circle's edge for birdie. Here's Josh. He goes a little long into the tree line, but he should have a 35-footer for birdie. Lucas, after a great tee shot, can see the basket and kind of throws it sawed off, but he's in the circle. This is Josh from inside the tree line from about 35 feet, maybe 40. He's lining up this small gap. Oh, clips that tree, but he's in the circle for his par. Justin for birdie from about 36 feet, 33 feet. Good putt. Matt from about same distance, maybe a little closer. Just leaves it a bit low. Tap in par for Matt. Here's Lucas for his bird. Good putt. Birdie for Lucas and a birdie for Justin. Josh has a little bit of work left for his par here. Good putt. So 2 pars and 2 birdies on hole 2. Justin takes the box and the lead with the birdie on the last hole. This looks a little inside, and he clips a tree and kicks right. Still in the fairway. Lucas is also a little bit inside and clips a tree and kicks left. That's a pretty tough spot. Matt makes it through the gap, and he's in a great spot to approach the green. That's hyzering a little early for Josh. He's going to be through the gap, but way on the left side. That's kind of what Lucas is dealing with to approach the green for a birdie. Opting for a forehand. It looks a little turned over, but he should be putting actually from there. This is what Justin has. Also opting for forehand. That looks pretty good, but he's going to have a long birdie putt. After Josh hyzered pretty far left, he's got a lot of trees to deal with. He's trying to figure out what disc to throw and what line to pick. He's going to go with the outside turnover forehand. That should be a birdie putt. Matt with the jump putt onto the green. He's really close for birdie. Here's Justin with a tricky birdie putt. He just puts it under the basket for par. Lucas with a kind of a scary putt. Also looks like he's got a lot of stuff to deal with. Ooh, just pulls it a little right. He's going to have a comebacker for par. Josh from a similar distance, just inside the circle. Off the top, oh, he rolls a bit. He's going to have a long par putt. This is probably about 38 feet. Great putt. Good par save. Lucas for par. Good putt. This is Matt for birdie, and he's really close. I would bet he would make this one. Good birdie. And Justin will tap in a par. So now it's tied at the top between Justin and Matt. That's a good shot from Matt. He's in the fairway looking at the basket. This is another par 4. Justin has his a little higher, so he crests the hill. He's going to have some stuff to deal with there to approach the green, but not too far from the basket. Looks like Lucas does a similar thing. He's in a similar spot to Justin. Ooh, Josh pulls that right, but kicks straight down into the fairway. He's pretty short back on the fairway, but should be able to salvage a par or maybe a crazy birdie. He rips that one. It's going into the rough on the right, but it looks like he's fought through to about pin high. Let's hope he has a gap. Matt with the forehand approach. It's turned over a little bit left, but he'll have a putt. Justin with the low ceiling. I think he's going to go with this outside the left side of that skinny tree in the front of your screen there. Hits the tree and rolls a little bit left, but that's a birdie putt. Great shot from Lucas. So Josh actually did get pretty close to the basket from pretty far back on the fairway. Let's see if he can save a birdie. Almost got it. Justin for birdie from a few feet outside the circle. smooth from the basket. Let's watch that again. Little freeze out. Not what you want to see. Not good for your mental game when that happens. We got Matt from a little bit closer for birdie. Ooh, kind of skips off the top for a tester putt for par. Lucas is parked for bird. Solo birdie from Lucas. Josh and Justin will tap in their pars, and then Matt will come over for his par putt. He makes good on the par, so 3 pars and a birdie. Lucas with the box.
Oh, man. I hit those three.
That was a great shot. He's going to have about a 30, 35 footer. Matt also throws a great shot. He's in the circle for birdie. Justin saws that one off a bit. He's going to have some work to do. That's a great line from Josh. And he looks parked. So as you can see, Justin has just like a wall of trees in front of him. He has a tiny gap on the right side that it looks like he's lining up with a gator. He punches through. Great shot, but he's still got to hit a putt to save par. Lucas with a decent attempt. He's got a close par putt. This is Justin to save a par. Dead center, good putt. Way to scramble. We got Matt from about 20 feet, maybe 18 feet for birdie. Got it. Lucas for par. And Josh will pretty much be tapping in a birdie, so 2 birdies and 2 pars. So Matt takes the lead and Josh gets on the board. This is the only par 5 on the course. A tough one at that.
Looks great. Yeah.
Justin pulls out a little bit right, but it fought, and he's in a decent spot. Matt came up a little bit short of where he wanted. He's going to try to throw this turnover forehand. Kind of burns it into the ground, and it cut rolls into the rough on the right. Justin went a little bit long of where he wanted to be. He's going to go with this backhand turnover. And he executes very well. Lucas also went a little bit long. It's all about placement shots on this course. If you can put it in the spot you want, you can get a lot of birdies. If not, you're going to be scrambling. And he gets it up there. He should have a look to get up and down for birdie. Josh is in the prime time spot. This is where you want to be. The gap is up there to the right. Once you crest the hill, it moves to the right into the gap, kind of straight. He's got it turned over. If that flexes out and gets into the gap, that's one of the best second shots I've ever seen on this hole. Matt's in some jail over here. He's got some work to do. And that's a great out. He should be looking at the basket. Lucas turned that over a little too much, but he's in the gap. He should be able to get up and down for par. A little too turned over. He's thought through a ways. Maybe he has a look for birdie, a long one. That's a good shot. He should have a par putt. Lucas also puts it close for par. Josh is pretty far into the gap after his second throw, which is well done, but he's got a tough shot still, which is unfortunate because he's way into the gap after two. That's not bad. He's got to look for birdie. This is Justin from about pin high, but he's in the rough down on the right side of the basket. Ooh, he gives that a run. He wanted that birdie. This is Matt for a par. Good putt. Josh for birdie, which is a great birdie on this hole. Oh, just a hair short, hair low. That's unfortunate after two good throws to start the hole. Lucas for a par. Justin's pretty close to get his par. And it looks like a par frame for everyone, so that's actually not bad on this hole for everyone to get a par. Hole 7 is actually a really tough birdie. It's a par 3, a long par 3. It finishes pretty hard to the right after you get out of the gap. Ooh, he sawed that off, but he just misses those trees on the right, and he should have approach for a par. Josh lining up the backhand Annie. Got that nice and turned over. This looks great. He might have one of the rare birdie looks on this hole. Lucas, with his big forehand, might be able to get up there for a birdie look. That looks good. Justin with the backhand, trying to mimic Josh's shot. Excuse me. It looks pretty good. Matt throws that a bit low. He's got a tester putt for par outside the circle. Looks like Lucas is trying to run that. Hopefully he stayed on the green. There's a hill that comes behind the basket. Justin with a nice approach. Matt to save a par from a few feet outside the circle.
I don't want to step on your shoe.
Do what? Oh, if you need me to mark
He wants
it,
to jump but doesn't want to land on. That's Josh's disc there, which is a great tee shot. Oh, great run, just a bit high off the band. Josh for the rarely seen birdie from circle's edge, just outside the circle. You know he wants this one. Beautiful putt. Great two. I'm pretty sure that was the only two of the whole tournament, so that's awesome. This is Lucas from down there after running that. He's going to be tapping in a bogey, excuse me. Justin for par. And Lucas and Matt will be tapping in their bogeys. So a birdie, a par, and two bogeys. That birdie was pretty amazing. So after 7 holes, Matt and Justin are at 18 under, tied for the lead. Lucas is at 16 under, and Josh is at 15. Here's Josh with the box after that amazing birdie. Ooh, he saws that off a little inside. He's got some work to do. This is a par 4, a very short one, but it's really hard to get to the basket from the tee. So it's a strange shape. That's a good shot from Justin. You can see the basket. This looks good from Matt. Similar spot to Justin, a little further back. And Lucas does the same thing. Josh is trying to figure out a way to get up and down for birdie. This is a short hole, but like I said, this course is all about placement shots. If you can place it where you want it, you'll get your birdies. That was actually a really good shot from Josh there. He should have a look for birdie. Not an easy one, but a look. That's all you can ask for from back there. Looks like Matt is lining up a forehand turnover. Trying to hit that little gap between the skinny tree and the leaning tree. Oh, and he hits the skinny one. Still got to look for birdie. Justin going to try the hyzer.
Good shot.
That looks close. He should be tapping in a birdie. And Lucas with a run for an eagle. He's got a comeback birdie putt.
Stance wise.
This would be a great birdie from where he was. He's got a decently open look. He is straddled out pretty wide. Kind of pulls that right, but he's close enough for a par. Matt from about 55 feet uphill for birdie. Should be a par for him. This is about a 22-footer down the hill for Lucas for birdie. Looks like he got something distracted him and he's going to refocus. Good birdie. Josh to tap in a par. Matt for his par. And then Justin will be tapping in a birdie. So with one hole to go on this front nine, Justin takes the lead back at 19 under. He saws this one off, heading for the rough. Yeah, he's going to have some work to do to even just save a par there. Lucas throws a great shot. He should have a nice look for an up and down for bird. This is Josh. He's got that turned over a little bit, but it fought through that tree. He should have a decent look to get up and down. And Matt saws that one off a little bit, but it went straight enough. He should have a good look for birdie. He's up and down for birdie. That's a pretty good shot. Josh is on the green. Lucas with the forehand. He needs that to slow down a little bit. Not bad. He's got a birdie putt. Justin with a smart pitch out. Matt with a forehand, probably going turnover, obviously, from here. And he puts that close. Not a bad approach from Justin, but I know he wanted to put that closer from where he was. Kind of a longer par putt than he wanted. Ooh, comes up a little low. He's going to be tapping in a bogey. Josh for birdie from about 20 feet. Good putt. Lucas from a similar distance for birdie. Got it. And Matt from about 15 feet. So 3 birdies and a bogey for Justin. So unfortunately, he loses 2 strokes to the card. As you can see, Matt has a 1-stroke lead over Justin and Lucas. Thank you for watching the front 9. Stay tuned for the back 9. And don't forget to like and subscribe.